How are we doing, diggers? Hope you're well. Welcome to the shop, welcome to the YouTube channel. And again, thank you so much for tuning in and being here and being a part of this journey as we document what it's like to run a record shop. Today, we are looking exclusively at just one format. We're looking at these boys here, the little ones, as they're sometimes affectionately called, as we get a call and it says we've got some big ones and we've got some little ones. So we're going to look at the little ones today, which I think is really cute. 7-inch singles, EPs, flexi discs, all of that sort of stuff. They're little ones. Now, I adore singles. I think they're a great format, and like many people, that's where I began collecting. It wasn't CD singles, it wasn't 7-inch singles, it was actually tape singles for me, but the same logic applies. You'd go down on a Saturday morning or whenever with your pocket money, and in my case I could afford 3 cassette singles. And you'd be taking a wild guess or a wild punt on something. You might know the artist, but you don't know the song. You haven't heard it yet on the radio, so how do you know what it's going to be like? You're looking at the artwork. Sometimes you don't even know the genre, and you're just taking a wild punt on stuff. Getting it home. Having 3 meant that usually 1 out of the 3 was decent, but if it was, it sent you on another journey of, okay, if I like that, what will I get next time? What will I get next week? I suppose that joy maybe has gone now, hasn't it? Because you just hear whatever you want to hear, whenever you want to hear it straight away. It just drops on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. So yeah, sad, isn't it? That joy has gone a little bit. But anyway, bygones be bygones. Old people, eh? So yeah, 7-inch singles. Your first foray into music, which I love. The other thing I love about singles is that that artist or band has just one shot at impressing you, because there's just one song. Well, there's the B-side, but I'll talk about that in a minute. On an album, you've got a bit of leeway to, you know, put on a song that maybe that's a bit experimental, or people might not like, or, you know, you can find your way for an album, and you've got more sort of chance of people picking up bits they like. Single, one shot, that's it. It's one song. And you're wanting to get in the charts. Back in the days, the fight for the charts was ferocious, and I love that about singles, you know. And like I said, B-sides. Sometimes the B-side's better than the A-side. You might get an alternate version, especially in reggae. Versions are the sort of instrumental of the main track. Usually a dubbier sort of mix, which I love. I think that's great. Yeah, B-sides are superb, and sometimes it's the only way you can get hold of them is on the single. So yeah, I love them for that reason as well. I love as well the history that comes with them. So when a battered old Rolling Stones or a Beatles come in, I can imagine somebody doing exactly what I used to do, going down to the record shop, standing in line saying, I'll have the latest release by the Rolling Stones, please, mister. Running home, sticking it on the dance set, and just this absolute cacophony of sound just coming out and being like, wow, we are in the future here, guys. This is the new beat that we should be listening to. And I just love that. And sometimes it's probably not the case. They probably took it home and thought it was rubbish, but who knows? I love making up those little stories of the history of stuff as they come in. So I love that side of things. And I collect singles. I'll show you my little DJ box in a minute. I'm always digging around in the singles section. You're often going to find some really good bargains as well. The quantity of singles that we get in, sometimes it just isn't humanly possible to process them all absolutely perfectly. So I know that in here are some absolute killer bargains where we've just missed, you know, oh, that could be a Northern Soul stomper, but we've kind of missed it and we've accidentally put it in the 50p bins. Or everything in here is priced way, way under if you use it as a metric. If you use it as a metric, Discogs average, because otherwise we wouldn't shift this stuff. So as a business point of view, singles I find quite tricky. Rarities are great and they're lovely, but they stick around for a long time. Not as many people collect singles. I think it'd probably make up 10% of all our sales, if I'm being generous. And I'll show you what actually makes up the large percentage of that, and it's not these rarities. I'll show you those in a minute. But yeah, let's have a little look at some records rather than me just whittering on. Let's spin you around and look at the wall. So usually up on the wall we've got more rare stuff or harder to find stuff, some nicer stuff, some more obscure stuff, or stuff that people generally want. Some cool stuff. We just had a massive drop of Mod Revival stuff, and you know, that was quite cool. So this whole section is Mod Revival at the moment. All the way across, there's some cool stuff here. We also have a few rarities behind there. We've got a fully signed Cure, some other Mod Revival that hits big, and some promo stuff. But I'm sure I've showed you that before in our rarities. And then up here, like I say, we've got everything is in genres here. And then we move into this lot here, which is, I will try and get this close up so you can see it. DJ Gunsmoke's personal collection. Fresh from Jamaica. Now, I bought this off my brother. It's all late 90s, 2000s dancehall. So think sort of reggae on a Casio keyboard with some shouting over the top, really. And I bought it because I thought it was cool. We have found one or two cool things in here, but we had a bit of a bet that I couldn't sell it all. And as you can see, I lost the bet. Never mind. And then we go new in here. So we've got a new in section here, and then we've got all our subgenres here. So this is a good place to start. New in. It's all mixed up, but there's some great stuff in here. We've just had loads of like post-punky, new wavy kind of stuff. Early indie, that kind of thing. Oh, I thought that was stolen there, but it's a flexi disc. A flexi disc is usually like a giveaway or something on flexible plastic. I think it's plastic, who knows. Some indie bits. We've had a big lot of jazz in recently. Some more punky bits. Post-punky, Public Image. 50s bits. So as a rule, like I say, we're much cheaper than you would find online, because otherwise we would never shift them. I'm stepping out. What a banger. What an absolute banger. This was an absolute floor filler in our kitchen, which he's got a song about, parties in kitchens, hasn't he, as well? But yeah, Stepping Out. Oh, I love that tune. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, some good fun stuff in here. What's that? Oh, early Bowie here. Under the name Arnold Corns, but written by David Bowie, so that's cool. Some interesting stuff across the board, really. What's in here? Some funky soul-y bits, all sorts, bit of the Jam, Iron Maiden, indie. And like I say, we will never turn down singles. Well, rarely do we turn down singles, because it is the joy of going through and hoping that you're going to find a big rarity. It really is panning for gold in this case with a lot of singles collections. And I will show you, oh my life, what a name for a band. Please welcome to the stage Tandoori Cassette with their smash hit Angel Talk. Turn on, tune in, cop out, free power. Yeah, like I say, we don't turn down singles. We always have a look through. And one of the things we're going to look at in a minute is a huge collection that came in where we really are panning for gold. I'm hoping that we can find something decent in there. And when you see the state of the box, you'll realise why I'm a bit reticent and a bit worried, as usual. One of the things that is so difficult about singles is 80s pop, because there are just thousands and thousands of them pressed. Hey up, you're not punk. Well, you kind of are, but you're not really punk, are you, Nick? Not anymore, bless you. Yeah, 80s pop. There were millions pressed. Like I said, everyone went down to Woolies or wherever to buy them early on. There's just too many. There's just thousands of 80s pop singles out there. So those are the ones that are really tricky. And I'll take you outside now and I'll show you what we do with those. Behold the cheap singles. Ta-da! So these are our 50p 4 for a quid singles that are literally always topped up. And we're going to do some topping up of that today. I mean, You can't go wrong for that, can you? 50p, 4 for a pound. Remember, they're 25p at that point. And obviously, there's some dross in here as well. Wait a minute. This is the rhythm of the night. All night, oh yeah. When I was talking about tape singles, probably one of the ones I bought, to be fair. Time after time. Oh, I'm not going to do it for every single song. You're not going to get a song from me for every single thing. Look at that bit of soul-y stuff. I would say this is a digger's paradise for sort of finding oddities and interesting stuff and just dirt cheap records. You could have such a great evening with £4. You know, you spend 4 or 5 quid and you could have a whole evening of cool music. You know what I mean? Or just taking a complete punt on stuff, because how bad can it be? So yeah, it's really, I think it's great fun in here. I mean, you've got a Blue Beat in here, Derek Morgan Blue Beat. It's probably gonna be not even that bad. It's staying in there. I'm not fishing it out. So yeah, but Beatles, all we know it needs is love, and obviously condition varies massively, like that. But there's some great stuff, good fun times to be had in here. But this is usually a really busy spot at the shop. Loads of people digging through here and bringing piles of records up. And I love that. I think that's great. And it just turns over some of the stuff we buy. And occasionally I just think, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to put absolutely loads of great stuff in here. And we've done it before where there's been, you know, 6, 8, 10 pound singles in here. It just keeps people coming back and enjoying the dig. And actually, if you put the hard work in, you get rewarded. So yeah, a bit of Motown as well. So that's our cheapy bits, 25p basically. And then under here, you got to be really brave. 10p singles. But it's not all dross, to be fair. If you like 50s stuff or Work That Body Diana Ross. So yeah, that's all our cheapy bits. Like I say, the hard thing there is that if I scan those all into, if you're using Discogs as a metric, which yeah, we do, the median on those, every one of those was at a median of around 2 to 3 quid. We recently had a guy come in with a collection and he had catalogued all of basically everything that was out there in the 10p and 25p section. He catalogued them all into Discogs and he'd got a value of around £4,000 as the median. And when I looked through the list, I was like, there is absolutely no way that is ever going to be viable as a price, because we don't sell that stuff. Maybe other shops do, I don't know. But do they turn it over quick enough? I would hate to sit, and I have done it before when we had our smaller shop, sitting on 30,000, 40,000 singles because I priced them all at 2 quid. Just no way, can't be doing that. Anyway, so it is tricky when you come across that where people have thought, well, each one of these is on eBay for 3 quid. So hopefully you're going to pay me £1.50 at least on them. It's not going to work because then we're going to sell them at 25p. So that is the other tricky part of singles as well, because we just don't sell enough and we churn them out dirt cheap. So on that note, let's have a little rifle through my DJ box first of all. Let's have a little look at my DJ box quickly and you can see what sort of stuff I collect. So welcome to the party, my old DJ box here. And I used to DJ, and I will do a bit on my DJ collection at home. I used to DJ, cool copy of Seven Nation Army there, funk, sort of Latin version. Yeah, I used to DJ off like albums and compilations and things. So I've got a huge amount of like funk, soul and reggae compilations. But then I kind of got to the point where I really wanted to DJ on 7 inches. It's so much easier. And also it keeps you in, because you're like, oh, you've got one choice basically. So you've got to go with that one choice rather than having a compilation. You just stick anything on, to be honest. A version of Got Your Money by Prince Fatty. Prince Fatty is well worth, if you like sort of dancehall reggae sort of stuff with fat beats. His covers and stuff are well worth checking out. There's some great stuff. Mr. Big Shot, who do you think you are? But yeah, there's loads of stuff in here of that is a cool tune. Archie Bell and the Drells, Strategy, 1979, but it absolutely kicks. It's amazing. Great version of Fool's Gold there, which I picked up from Melton Record Fair. A strange reggae reggae white label, which is phenomenal. So yeah, as you can see, lots of reggae, soul, funk. I am partial to a cover, so a funk soul cover of a classic song. That is a tune. So yeah, I love DJing. I've not DJed in ages though. I've not DJed properly in absolutely ages. Oh, yeah, Skull Snaps. I just saw. There's the Prince Fatty, which is brilliant. Cypress Hill, Insane in the Brain. A cover, which is absolutely off the charts. Great. Nice soul-y bits and stuff. So yeah, like I said, not DJed really since the old COVID lockdown and stuff like that, because I didn't really get back into it. And a lot of the bars just sort of stopped having DJs that I was DJing at. I was DJ at the Orange Tree chain of pubs in the Midlands. And after that, they don't exist anymore. They closed shortly after. So yeah, I've not got myself out and DJed, but I would love to. So if anyone's watching this and wants me to come and do a set at their record shop or something, Voodoo Roo, I'm well up for that. Hit me up. I'll come and DJ. Moonshiner. That's a winner. Giorgio Moroder, actually, on that. Absolute killer. Stompy glam. So yeah, that's my DJ box, basically. A random assortment of dancey stuff. And I do often get a bit scared of keeping my DJ box here in case one of the lads working just goes, oh, well, I'll just price this lot up and put it out and while I'm away, but it's usually safe. Okay, on to the box of doom, the 7-inch box of doom. Dig if you dare. Look at the state of this lot. Okay, so it pulls across this huge box and this green box. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and see if we can find any gems, and I'll show you our process of sorting a big singles lot like this. So what I'll do is I will go through these, we'll pull a handful out and we'll go through them a handful at a time. Come on, Phil, you can come as well. Now, the ones at the bottom there, which are completely sleeveless, we will have a very quick look at them. But condition-wise, they're very, very likely to be wrecked, aren't they? Okay, so what we're going to do is sort these into 10p pile, our 50p 4 for a pound pile, quids, because quid singles go over to our little shop, and then over here we'll do what we're going to look at or sort and go through. Do you know what I mean? So first up, Beats International. That looks pretty cool. 90s single. I'm going to do a quid on that. The Jam. To be honest, it's just an old jukeboxy one. Let's get rid. I've got to be ruthless on this because otherwise we'll never get anywhere. Some 90s kind of soul-y stuff. Style Council, 25p section. Yeah, definitely. Another copy of Beat Surrender. Jam. Not too bad, but again, let's get it gone. Let's get it gone. We've got plenty of copies of that. It's not the nicest copy. The Bump by Kenny. Bit of disco. No idea what that is, but it doesn't look very good. 10p. Tears for Fears. What actual tune is that? Change. So that can go in there. The Viscounts. Now this is where I go, all right, am I going to check it or not? 1960. Johnny Keating Music and Babs Night Group. I don't think that's going to be worth anything, but I have to check it just in case. I have to check it just in case. Yeah, Mr. Solitaire, you can go in there. In there. Karma Chameleon. I mean, that's just never going to go even for 25p, I do. Yeah, what a classic. Pointer Sisters and Jump for My Love. The Tourists, yeah, you can go in there. as you can see, that's a quid. As you can see, most stuff just goes in the 25p to turn it over, and that's why that section out there is incredibly popular. We get loads and loads of resellers coming in there, the firm Style Trekking. We get loads of resellers who are doing car boots or record fairs and stuff that can quite easily put a quid on this stuff rather than the 25p. All right, we have hit a bit of a rubbish stuff now. Bassomatic fascinating rhythms. To be honest, 90s dancey stuff, and it's William Orbit, God bless his soul, passed away last week. That can go in the quids. Boots Made Walking, what a tune, but it's not a nice enough copy for anything. The Avon, 7 Little Gals Sitting in My Back Seat. Beg your pardon, from 1969. I can only imagine that that is worth 10p. Singing Postman, sorry, you're 10p. Mel and Kim, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree for comic relief. 10p. It's my favourite, Paul Young. You can get 25p hopefully. Wham! Last Christmas. It's in his company sleeve. It's the double A side. That can go in for a quid. We haven't found anything yet that's going to give us any real dollar. Yes, sir, I can boogie. It's Raining Man. That's nice with a picture sleeve. That can go for a quid. David Soul, 10p. Culture Club, Church of the Poison Mind. It's a good tune, that. 25p. Phil Collins. You know, I'm tempted to go for a quid, but actually I just want to see the back of him. Sorry, Phil. Black Wonderful Life, a full fold out poster version as well. Again, 25p. Come on, let's get rid of this stuff. But I love this. The great thing about it is that it draws customers to our shop. Now, a lot of people that are doing this 25p single malarkey or the 10p single, do they come in and buy something else? Usually they are just in it for these. However, occasionally it transfers into a shop sale, which can only be a good thing. So it's all about creating an atmosphere or community around the shop. And those 10p single diggers are very likely to talk to their other record collector friends and say, there's a great record shop where things are dirt cheap. Michael Jackson Off the Wall, Working Day and Night, which is a banger, Off the Wall as well. That is definitely going for a quid. Bronski Beat, Krista Berg, 10p. Brucey, Dancing in the Dark, come on, you are worth a quid. Hot Chocolate, DC Lee, I see so many copies of that. Shout, Tears for Fears. Let's check the condition on that one. Do you know what? That's going to clean up okay, and I think for such a big tune, that should be a quid. Come on, Grandmaster Flash, White Lines Don't Do It. That's cool. 10cc, I'm Not in Love. Chaka Khan, I Feel for You. Yeah, you can go for a quid. And Break Dance Party, you can go for a quid. So as you can see, 10p's, they're 25p each, but it's 4 for a quid. So we're really only making 6 quid there. And maybe so far this box, if we actually sell it, is making us around 12 quid. Okay, still got a long way to go, but we're hitting all the absolute dross now. Duran Duran, yeah, Save a Prayer, what a tune, but it doesn't look in very nice condition. Madonna, Like a Virgin, that can go for a quid. George Michael, Careless Whisper, go on, someone can get a bargain. Queen, I Want to Break Free, 1 quid. True Blue, quid. Boney M. Talking Heads Road to Nowhere, we can go quiddy. Another Jam, but in its picture sleeve, so that can go a quid. Kylie. Again, I'm sure that would scan at quite a decent amount on Discogs. It's 1992, so, you know, not many singles being bought at that time. CDs have taken over. It's going to go 25p. I will look it up and see. Bit of Bowie, Stones, Philly International Records, which usually might go, If You Don't Know Me By Now, Too much of a slow song for my DJ box. Perkins, Terence Trent D'Arby. So yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea with this stuff. We're not gonna be going to the Seychelles on this little lot, sadly. But if I do find any absolute winners in here, I will let you know in the next video, okay? But as you can see, I just don't think that's going to happen. Imagine if I found one now. A 400 quid Northern Soul Stomper. No. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look at the little ones, the small records, 7 inches that we've got in the shop, and what we kind of do with them. Hope that's been quite fun to look through. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Have a lovely time out there, guys. Remember, get out there, support your local independent record shop, and get digging. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.